world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are going to do a pick a card reading about what your intuition is trying to tell you. So if there is a situation and it's not really crystal clear, or you feel like you're getting some mixed messages, or we just need to meditate on it and figure things out for a moment. That's what this reading is about. What is your intuition trying to tell you about that situation? Pick a card reading and we're going to get your intuition engaged right away. A pick a card reading means you get to pick the card, the number, the object, the deck, whatever looks good to you. You use your intuition to do that. You pick that card, you go down to the description where I have the timestamps down below. Click on that timestamp, meet me at your reading, and then I use my intuition to read the cards for you. That's what that is. If you like to choose with objects, I'm placing objects right now, and I'll tell you what these decks are. This is Ethereal Visions for group number 1, and there you get the look of the back of the cards here. The object is this clear quartz heart. For group number 2, this is Everyday Witch deck, and the number 2, and the object is this this is Bumblebee Jasper. Chose it to pick up on the yellow here. For group number 3, this is Mystical Mondays. Doesn't have to be Monday. You don't even have to like Mondays. You might like the back of the cards. You might like number 3, or you might like this Goldstone heart that's going to be placed on it. I do a lot of pick a card readings here. If that's something you're interested, please consider subscribing. And there we go. Oh, and if you could tell the like button to stop asking me about her twin flame. She's her own twin flame. I would appreciate it. If you're still not sure which group to pick, go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to do a breathing exercise. We're just going to get here in the moment, get loose. I'm going to put my feet, plant them on the floor. Go ahead, plant your seat, whatever that is that you need to plant, so that we get here in the moment, we get grounded, we think about just anchoring here at this time, in this moment, okay? That's the point. We're gonna take a deep breath in and release out any tension. Just continue breathing here. We're gonna set the intention that you get the messages you need to receive. Take another deep breath in. Release. We're just going to melt into this moment. Go ahead and open your eyes, and wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello, group number 1, our beautiful clear quartz. Tells me you have nothing to hide. You want to get down to see the whole situation here. Our ethereal deck here, and we're gonna do everything with the deck today. We're not gonna pull cards from anywhere else. I'm just gonna shuffle through here as we think about your situation and your intuition. So sometimes we say, I want to know about this situation, and the cards are like, oh, and they throw out something else. So we're going to get a card about the situation, and this is where you get to engage your intuition. So the current situation, and then the energy of the situation. Let's talk about what's the current situation for group 1. Current situation for group 1. Okay, and the energy. New beginnings is the energy. Okay, wow. Okay, so I can see why we're asking about this situation when we have the 7 of Wands. This is a combative situation. You feel like you're fighting other people, and I think that you're having a hard time with your intuition here. not knowing what to do or feeling like there's clutter coming in, because there's a lot of opinions about this. So this situation, it's so funny how everybody seems to be, nobody seems to mind their own business is what I'm trying to say. Like, and the opinions sometimes on situations, it's kind of like, why are you even concerned with that? Like, I'm talking about these wands here that are coming at you. So the Seven of Wands, we've got you here on a precipice. You might have the moral high ground, and it might be that people just aren't seeing your perspective. It might be that they're fear-based for you. They want you to take the easy way. It might be that, this what you want to do in your situation, you're putting yourself here out on a limb, and it might be confusing for you because it feels like you haven't even begun your journey yet and you're fighting with all of these people about it. When really, it's honestly none of their business. It's none of their business. They're not the one taking the risk. And a lot of it, I feel like they're projecting onto you. I feel like a lot of times the Seven of Wands can be avoided when we draw boundaries. And sometimes, and it might be a situation where it's somebody like our mom or our dad or our grandparents or, an aunt, somebody who loves you, who wants the best for you, and you don't always tell them to butt out, well, because you would want to do it nicely, but you don't always tell them that you don't really need their opinion or you don't really need their projection, because you know that at least sometimes that they're coming at you from a place of love, where they love you. They want to see the best for you. They want you to do well, but it scares them. A situation might be where, you're going to college, but you're doing it in a different state. Or maybe your dream has always been to fly an airplane, so you want to join the Air Force, and the people around you are concerned because nobody in your family has been in the military before. Or vice versa, maybe your family has all taken this one route, this family business, and you want to do something else with your life. Understand that when opinions, solicited or otherwise, it's really somebody is giving you their opinion of themselves. They're not necessarily speaking on your own ability, but when they start talking, that's when you start taking on that projection. This is what we're talking about when we're saying, break generational curses. When I'll tell you, like, as generational curse in my family has been flooding, like afraid of water, fear of water. But that fear was instilled in us when we were young. It made sense. My great-grandparents had a farm. They had a river that ran through it. It flooded a couple times. They had a reason for their fear. But that's never happened to me. So, things shift, things change, and then we have to readdress those fears. And I do in a really real way when I decided to go to Hawaii to get married. And there are people in my family who would not come to that wedding because they would not fly over the ocean. And then when I was there, I had a really difficult time snorkeling. Like, that was huge. But it was something that I worked through, and then I broke that curse. So you will see this unfolding. And in this situation, I understand why you're asking for clarity on your intuition, because there's a lot of clutter. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of fear. There is, even if you have not discussed this with somebody, your parent, you can hear them in your mind because you've heard them, wear your helmet, wear your seatbelt. It's almost those cautionary things that your parent has told you. And now you're kind of stepping out on a limb and they're coming through even in your mind if you haven't like put this out there, because they're concerned. So you have to be, we have to get that clarity, almost like that breathing exercise we did to pick our cards. It might be helpful for you to do that, to get grounded, to figure out, to start. I like to pull the threads of some of these fears and beliefs. And when I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do that, and think, well, wait a second, why? Start asking that question, why? Where is this coming from? And then you start to see the person or the situation behind that fear, and then you're like, you're at least better prepared to carry forward because you know where that fear came from, and you're like, oh, but that's not really in this situation, or oh, that's a good point, but I know how to get around it, and I can't sit on the sidelines forever. You're going to regret sitting on the sidelines forever. So that is a lot about the situation already, and we have more cards to pull. Now, the energy of the situation is beautiful. We have the Ace of Cups. It's a brand new beginning. We should be looking at the potential. We should be looking at all of the new things it's interesting. Let's bring the Seven of Wands back. It's almost like you have your back to all of the prosperity, all of the love, all of the good emotions that are involved in this thing, because you're fighting that off. There could also be a fear here of starting, of beginning, because once we do, like, the reason for procrastination, or like an artist might stare at a canvas, even though they have this amazing idea inside of them, or you're a writer and you look at the page and there's nothing on it, or the screen, and you don't want to start putting words down because that starts limiting your potential. And it does, but you have to put one foot in front of the other if you ever want to create something. So there is procrastination and some fear based around the situation. So I understand when that happens that sometimes it's kind of difficult to listen to our intuition. So how can you better understand what's going on? How can you better understand what's going on? We've got the Knight of Wands. And what is your intuition really trying to tell you? We get the Page of Pentacles. More movement. The action, movement. Again, a page kind of starts from the beginning, but we can kind of sometimes be locked in fear around doing something wrong, making the wrong choice, making the wrong step. But it's so funny how that happens. I feel like some of these wands over here are fearful for you going the wrong way because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going. Of course you don't. It's brand new. And that's okay. But that's how we learn, is to experience. And I feel like the Knight of Wands is here to remind us that taking action is the best way to move forward out of procrastination. Pushing forward, maybe sometimes even without thinking. I think that the Knight of Wands, I was going to say the Knight of Swords is somebody who acts without thinking a lot of times, but the Knight of Wands as well acts out of passion. It kind of reminds me of, and I think it's out of Alice in Wonderland, but I'm going to have to paraphrase it. It's a quote about like, oh my gosh, well, what if I fall? And they're like, but what if you fly? And this is your chance to fly. This is your chance to look at what goes right and what goes well. I feel like there's also, when we have the Page of Pentacles here, there's also a monetary payoff to it. It might be changing careers, and you're doing it because of like the path you're heading down right now, your heart isn't in it, and you feel like this other way is going to be more meaningful to you. This other path is going to be more meaningful. It's going to be more purposeful. it feels like there's more passion behind like this path that you want to choose, that you're kind of on the fence, that you currently have your back to it because you're fighting everybody's opinions of it, or maybe you're even just afraid of what people will say about it. And it might be in the beginning of this change, this career change, that you're not going to have the same monetary payoff as you did before. But the Page of Pentacles, so the Page of Pentacles is looking at this coin, this dollar amount, and going, and for others of you, this is the start of something big. Again, I just feel like this is the beginning. You've got to get over this hump, and you almost have to kind of like act without thinking. I think, and it's not that you're going to act without thinking. You've thought about it a lot. One thing that I love about the Seven of Wands here is that when people are critical of your idea, it does allow you to think things out a little bit more. What I was saying with when you start asking why, and then you expose those fears, and then you have solutions to those fears. But the Knight of Wands is just like, I'm gonna put on my armor and I'm gonna push forward. Like another Wands card, another thing to be passionate about. And the Knight of Wands is leaving the naysayers behind. It's leaving them in the dust and going forth and going to find this prosperity that has on this new path. There is money involved. There is prosperity for you, and there's a very real payoff, and probably beyond monetary for you. So it's a payoff in the experience, but it's all in it, and a payoff in the passion that you have towards this. Going out, and it's kind of like going out and making your dreams come true. Okay, why is it leading you this way? Why is your intuition leading you this way? And how to move forward. So your intuition is realizing, like, this is still kind of stuck over here in the Five of Cups, another Cups card. It's still kind of stuck over here in the loss of something, or the fear base. Well, actually, the loss here is in front of you, and this is what you're looking at. You're looking at kind of your Seven of Wands kind of rotated here, but there's an emotional component too. There's the whole fear-based thing. And then we get the Hermit. How to move forward is to light your own way. Look at this with the Ace of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the Hermit. The Hermit is going his own way. He's lighting his own way. And he's you may have looked for people to get on your team. You may have tried to draft them, and that is why you're kind of meeting this fear around your situation. The people are concerned about it, but the Hermit also shows me like success coming out of the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups, the Page of the Pentacles. But it's you getting the courage to be who you are and to light this way. You might even, I know like social media is a big place for people to share their fears, and it's a big place for fears, criticism, for people to tell you that you're not doing it right, all of those things. But the Hermit is like, you know what? I'm a trailblazer. I am a trend setter. All of the potential here, like, I have a ton of potential coming into this cup, and the Hermit takes all of that and then makes it available for others, because he creates a path. There's a path where there's not one before. So going back to this, where I was saying, like, for some of you, I think that, you know, your family has always been, let's say, carpenters, or, you know, they have this family business, or they've always done, maybe your family is a military family. They've always joined the military. And you're like, no, I feel like I'm going to go into finance. And finance, oh my gosh, you know, the banks or blah, 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 you know, and there starts coming out all this, what are you thinking? It's just because that's an unknown. It's an unknown to others, but you know what's right for you, and you know what you want to do. And I also see it's interesting, look at the Hermit. He's got his staff, right? He's got a staff here. The Seven of Wands has a staff, but the Hermit is carrying on without wielding his staff and at other people. He's not concerned about it. There may be naysayers behind him, but where are they? They're at the bottom of the mountain. This dude is climbing the mountain. This dude has a higher perspective. He sees more things. He is shining the light for himself. Oh, sorry, just started coughing. He is shining the light for himself. And you know what? I get it. That's putting yourself out there. But you are going to regret not doing it way more than you are going to regret doing it. You're going to regret staring at these empty cups way more than you will regret turning around, finding these 2 full cups, and carrying on with your dream. So you know what's right for you, and just because there's others who are telling you that's not right, it doesn't make them right, is what I'm trying to say. It almost reminds me of those things from Reddit. Am I the a-hole for, you know, whatever? When somebody does that, they're inviting a bunch of other people's opinions into a situation that the other people don't have the full breadth of. And I feel like, you know, these people who are fighting with you, or these people who are looking at your situation in fear, they don't know. They don't know what's in your heart. They don't know that your guidance. Trust yourself. Trust your guidance. Trust who you are. Yeah, there's going to be some mistakes made. Are there things that you need to think out? Yeah. But you have this in you. Like this, look at this Major Arcana card. This is the only Major Arcana card here, and it's the Hermit. And it's you doing it alone. You shining your own light. But you have to... who was it? Okay. This is what I was thinking about. Taylor Swift here for a second. You know how she writes all those songs about her ex-boyfriends and all that. Stevie Nicks did that first in the 70s. Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks. And this is Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks walked so that Taylor Swift can run, is what I'm saying. So you're going to be a beacon of hope here for I feel like there's a lot of generational curses, kind of. I feel like this is a beacon of hope for your family, taking your family into the next, into the age of Aquarius, taking your family into the next level. And some of them, you're going to pull them kicking and screaming because they're here lust and fear, but you're going to show them the way. You're going to light the way. You're going to show them a better way. And I love that for you. And it's just by quieting down, listening to your heart, understanding, asking questions of the fears that are popping up, of those intrusive thoughts. Start asking why and where they came from, and start breaking those curses. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 2. Let's talk about your intuition, shall we? The situation, this intuition, what's going on with it. So we're just going to do everything with these cards and some questions. Let's talk about the current situation. The current situation. What's the current situation? Okay. Oh, Tower. And the energy of the situation. The energy of the situation. Two of Cups. Okay, so the Tower is a situation where it just feels like you blew up everything. In this particular Tower card, I love it because it's like I am just tearing it down. I am getting rid of all of the things that I don't like. It's like if you want to, your living space. You want to redecorate a room, you just take everything out of it and then you start adding things back and maybe you are going to keep the couch or maybe you are going to keep that rug. You don't know yet. You just pull it all out. We're burning everything down. We have the Two of Cups over here though. The energy of the situation is of love. This seems like this is of love, and the reason you can't really trust your intuition is, for some of you, I feel like in the past you've had a relationship that has gone south, it's gone the wrong way, and so now you kind of expect that and you blow it up before it ever gets very far. So we got to talk about that because we have to release. I mean, the great thing about the Tower is letting things go, starting from scratch. I am seeing, though, I think it's Angela Bassett. I forget what, maybe it is Waiting to Exhale is the movie. I think, is that the one that she's in there with Whitney Houston? Anyway, older movie, classic. But we've seen the memes where she gets mad in her situation. I think the guy is, he's probably cheating on her. Again, it's been a minute. And she's got his car and she lights it on fire and she is walking away and she looks amazing and fierce. And it's the same kind of like with this Tower. And when I get the Two of Cups right behind it, I'm concerned. So we'll get some more cards to kind of to figure this out on this concern. So the energy of the situation is this Two of Cups that and you may have just come out of a relationship and you're not really ready for a new one, but somebody pops up and you're like, I don't know, I kind of want to do this single thing, or I feel like it's too soon, or I was told I was in a 2-year relationship and I was told that it takes at least half the time to get over that relationship, and I don't want to, or I don't want this to be a rebound thing. There's a lot of clutter, let's say, around love. I do feel like, though, you're in a good position to cut the clutter when we have the Tower. And let's see what the other cards come out here before I go finish that sentence or that thought. How can you better understand what's going on? How can you better understand what's going on? We get the Page of Swords. And then what is your intuition really trying to tell you? What's the better understanding? What is your intuition trying to tell you? Okay. Your intuition is trying to tell you to calm it down. There's going to be some information come through. I kind of feel like strongly for most of you that this is a situation where you're presented with a possibility of love after a big loss, where you have been like, nope, not interested, not looking for love, not open to that, I don't really care. And somebody is coming here with the Page of Swords with an offering. This might be somebody who's younger than you, which is why you're like, no. Or they might work for you. I'm saying that because we get the Page of Swords. This might be somebody who, he looks really young. He looks like a novice. It might be somebody who you think is immature, who isn't ready for a relationship. I think that you feel the connection. There's just like the past where it's kind of like a, this didn't go well before. I'm not really looking for this. And honestly, that's the best time. We find love when we're really not looking for it. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We have this person coming forward, offering you something. They have information they want to give you. They have something they want to tell you. They have fresh new ideas for you with the Page of Swords. New information comes in. It may not necessarily be from them. Page of Swords is you get that heartfelt love letter that was lost in the mail, or that email comes through, or that text message from a long lost friend. A communication comes in that you have been waiting on, that you've been waiting for. And then your intuition is telling you balance. So if you have been shying away from love, and I'm only saying love because we have the Two of Cups cards. This is like the biggest love card in the deck, so I can't ignore it. If you've been shying away from it, of love, because you are, all work, you've been putting yourself into work, your intuition is telling you, let's balance some things out. Let's not all work and no play. But if you have been playing, then your intuition is telling you a little bit more work. It's all about the balance, that work-home balance. We're seeing it here with the cupcakes over here and the carrots over here. It's like an energy of, like, don't deny yourself, but you don't have to overindulge either. It kind of reminds me of that idea of the Renaissance man, where they wouldn't necessarily be bodybuilders, because a bodybuilder only works on muscles and that's all that they do. But they're more like cross trainers, I think, where cross training doesn't necessarily do a lot of cardio, but they're doing cardio, they're working their muscles, but they're also reading, they're also improving all areas of their life. And your intuition is telling you to do that. Temperance is also a card of like a quiet calm. So where we have Tower over here, which is like huge, almost like life-changing type of energy, Temperance is like, okay, and this is your intuition talking. Your Temperance is like, let's calm down. Let's take a moment. Let's meditate. Let's work on our mental health, but our physical health too. I know somebody too, this reminds me of her, where she is very connected spiritually. She's very spiritually connected. She's very psychic. She's into all these things, and she can heal her body with her mind, okay? But she keeps having all of these ailments come up, and I'm like, it's because you're not doing the physical part. So when things come up, yeah, she gets better and she heals it with energy, and she does. She is very gifted, but she isn't doing the physical part, which is why they keep coming up. Temperance would absolutely come out for her. So where are you neglecting? And you know where you're neglecting, because this is all about intuition, and your intuition is telling you right now what area of your life you are neglecting. The cards are saying that it's your heart. The cards are saying that it is you're neglecting whether you are in a relationship with this person or this person is trying to get a relationship with you. New information is coming out with the Page of Swords, and you need to figure out this balance. Okay, so why is your intuition leading you this way? Why is your intuition leading you this way? And then how do you move forward? Ooh. Oh, okay. We'll take both those. I don't know what they are yet, but we'll take them both. Okay, your intuition is leading you this way because you are holding yourself back. We have anxiety. We have the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords. I love the Page of Swords. This is kind of like we're skipping the Ten of Swords here and going to the Page. So in chronological order of swords, we have you holding yourself back. This is a prison that you're in. This is anxiety. Two lovely things to notice here. There is a bird. This is a bird of hope. This is the information coming in that I was talking to you about the Page of Swords. We have another little bird here is like, hey, it's always darkest before the dawn, and look, the sun is rising. So with you, we need to figure out a way to quiet your mind. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, grounding, doing the physical stuff. You may have been reading books, you may be inside listening to music, you may be creating. It might be that I'm for most of you, I feel like you are not doing the physical things. You're not getting outside. You're not connecting with nature. You're not grounding yourself. Anxiety and your mind and I feel like this is the balance here, because Swords is a suit about thoughts and ideas and your mind, but when it runs rampant, it can be very destructive. You know how destructive thoughts can be and our intrusive thoughts, and we can't let them win. We need alternatives, and what's crazy is that a lot of times the alternative to our mind is doing something with our body. It's time to start that. It's time, if it's yoga, if it's going outside, if it's touching grass, if it's putting your feet in the sand, if it is putting your feet in the water. For some of you, I also see Wim Hof here. Wim Hof does breathing exercises, which are amazing. He developed them. Unfortunately, his wife committed suicide, and he developed this. He feels like if he knew what he knew now, when his wife was going through this pain, that she would not have done what she did. Okay, so it's bringing it down a notch. We have like this high intensity over here with the Tower. Tower's almost, we pull everything. We feel like we lose everything, but we didn't. You didn't lose everything. And to see what you have, we have to quiet our mind and relax a little bit. Whether that is releasing that anxiety through the breathing exercises that I talked about, you might want to look into that if that resonates with you, if your intuition is telling you that that's what you need. And here too, she's taking action, but it's a very quiet action versus a very active action over here with the Tower. So I just feel like we have a situation around your heart where somebody wronged you and you just want to burn everything down, and I totally get that. But that is just going to cause you more anger and anxiety. It might be a past love, and they're impacting your current situation. It's impacting your current state. Somebody cheated on you, and therefore you feel like any relationship that you're in, somebody will cheat on you. We have to figure out how to release that. And your intuition is telling you that you need to release it. You need to let go. You can't be, we can't be in this state of anxiety that we're in, okay? What is wonderful here, though, is that we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is kind of like a conclusion, right? We've got 8, 9, 10. It's definitely a shift that occurs here. It is forward thinking through practical, real improvements, and small incremental things that we do every single day that really makes a huge impact at the end of the year, at the end of 5 years, at the end of a lifetime. You may So when I'm saying those small incremental things, most of the time people don't make real change because they change everything all at once. I think that's this tower over here. I think that's coming in with the tower and just burning everything down and fixing everything. But then it doesn't last. This is about creating something that lasts, and listening to your intuition to do that. So in your situation, we need to calm it down, get in tune with that gut feeling, do it through breathing, do it through very physical things here when we've got the Temperance and the Ten of Pentacles. And I can't tell you what's good for you. However, I was listening to somebody who likes to ride motorcycles, and she considers that like an active meditation. So maybe it's bicycles. Maybe it is, for me, it's walking. Like I seriously have almost euphoric ability because I get present in the moment, and I leave these behind so that I can enjoy all of the other things. I also feel like when we've got tons of different thoughts, like tons of different directions, and we have the Page of Swords, we need to focus on one. You need to make a choice. You need to focus on the one thing to push forward with. Almost like we have more thoughts and ideas than we really need. For instance, if somebody is like, oh, I can make money by, getting a job, getting a part-time job, doing this, gig work, doing that, opening up an Etsy store, creating a website, and then they get overwhelmed and they never do any one thing. It doesn't mean you have to do the one thing forever, but pick something and move towards it with this Page of Swords. But do it, you don't have to do everything at once. And in fact, for long-term sustainability, don't. But if you can devote 10 minutes a day towards it, that would make an incredible difference in your life. So that's what I have for you, Group 2. Please let me know how this resonates for you and how you're moving forward. I would love to know. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 3. So this is our Goldstone, our Mystical Mondays, and our number 3. So welcome. Let's start talking about the situation. I'm gonna, excuse me, get a card for the current situation so we define it a little bit better, and then the energy of the situation. So the situation and energy of the situation. That can kind of give us a peek, but then also, give us an idea of what's going on with our intuition. So the King of Cups, and then we've got Death card here. Our current situation is the King of Cups is somebody who, I would say so Cups is a suit of emotions. So kings are in control of emotions. The King of Cups would be that kind of like masculine father figure who loves but is kind of at a distance. So even though he is in control of his emotions, sometimes when we do have emotions popping up, we might not always recognize them for what they are. So we'll revisit this idea here about the situation. And then we've got the Death card. So the Death card, don't be concerned. It is about change. So sometimes when things are changing, and we feel like we have no control over the changes, or like winter, for instance, or the weather, like when it's snowing, or we're going into spring or summer or whatever, like we can't change those things. We can change where we are. We can travel. If we're sick of winter, we can travel to like a Caribbean destination. Or if we, don't like where we live currently, like I live at altitudes. Some people health-wise have an issue with that. So they can move to like sea level. So sometimes there's change that we can control, and then sometimes there's change we can't control. And I just really feel like the King of Cups, there's such a stoic energy around it. And when change pops up, a lot of times I'm almost feeling like this situation is there's change going on and you're being very stoic about it. You're like, well, I can't control it, so I'm just going to roll with it and deal with it, right? But there might actually be aspects of this you can control, and your intuition is trying to get your attention to tell you, like, hey, this is something that you don't need to put up with. You're capable of it, but your life might be better if we change something. So let's hold that thought. Let's get some more cards out. How can you better understand what's going on? How can we better understand what's going on? How can we better understand what's going on? Okay. We have the Lovers. Interesting. And then what is your intuition trying to tell you? Better understanding. Your intuition is intuition, by the way. Because the High Priestess card is a very intuitive card. Okay. I feel like this is like how I was leaning over here. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're in a bad relationship, but you just put up with things for so long, you haven't thought about making a change, or you're just rolling with the punches because you're able to handle it. Or a job situation where it's a company that, like, it's just, you're not happy there, but you just do the stoicism where it doesn't matter if I'm happy. I need to bring home a paycheck. I need to provide for people, that kind of thing. But there are certain aspects of the situation you can control. How can you control it? First of all, we have the Lovers. We have communication. So this is a better understanding about your situation. There is going to be an epiphany, and it might even be this reading about the situation where you look at it in a different way. This actually reminds me of somebody who was a Green Beret. And he was not happy with the way that things were for various reasons, but he was very good at what he did, and he decided that he was going to quit. And his boss came to him and said, why are you quitting? And he told him why he wasn't happy with the direction. He's like, well, that's why you stay and work on it. You become you raise through the ranks, and then you can change things. But he's like, which is actually what he ended up doing. He became a politician, because he's like, it's not that's not the problem. The problem is the political area. Okay. So relating this back to you, the problem isn't really the problem. Like, you're living the problem and you're dealing with the problem, and you're rolling with the punches, you're rolling with the change, you're handling it, and you can handle it, and you're rising through the ranks. But this is a realization of, like, hey, I am really good at what I do, but if I want to make real change, I need to be the one in control. I need to be the one who makes that change. It almost seems like, and it almost seems like you have to go outside to go within. So is bringing up that green beret, but then there's also, and I don't know who the CEO was, but I'm almost thinking Cracker Barrel. Like, she raised through the ranks of Cracker Barrel, and they didn't promote her, so she went to Applebee's and then bought Cracker Barrel. Kind of vibes is what I'm getting here. You and I, it's almost like a corporate ladder that I'm seeing here too for you to change. So your situation, it's bigger. The solution is bigger than what you think it is, but the solution is actually easier than what you think it is too, if that makes sense. So being that, like, you're just, you know, nose to the grindstone, dealing with it every day, it can't really make a change, so I'm just going to, you know, do these small little things. In fact, it's kind of like, well, actually, if I circumvent the corporate ladder by going outside of where I currently am or what I currently thought was available to me. Like, in my organization, I am a receptionist, a salesperson, then I become the director of sales, and then I become like the CEO, like that, whatever the corporate ladder is. It almost is like that is like 20 years worth of work, and seeing the situation from a different perspective, and actually listening to your intuition is going to open up new possibilities for you in this situation. So I am talking big. I am talking grand, because we have 3 major arcana cards here. We have death, we have change. So change is inevitable. We know that. So then we have the Lovers, but Lovers is ruled by Gemini, which is about communication. It is about higher realization. It is about higher perspectives, which leads into the High Priestess, which is all about intuition, that gut feeling, that knowing the unknown, that following your heart, following that gut. And even though I know that you can deal with what you're dealing with right now, you don't have to. You're the one who can write the book. You're the one who can make the change. I almost feel like you're somebody who might be complaining to other people. Like, who's in charge of this? Because this isn't working right. This isn't, like, things are not right. And it's almost like you're talking to a bunch of non-player characters, if you know what that means, and you are the only one who realizes something. There's something very special here about your realization. This is a glow up for you. This is a promotion for you. This is something bigger, something way bigger for you. I know I'm talking crazy. Like, I feel like I'm talking like that you're telling me that, whoa, that's crazy. Like, those are crazy ideas, or those are big ideas, but we've got big cards. We've got big idea cards here. Why is your intuition leading you this way, and how to move forward? Oh, let's move our little rose back before we move forward. Your intuition is leading you this way because we get the 9 of Pentacles, because there is more money in it for you. You are a self-made person. This might even be about you quitting your job and starting your own business, because you're the one who's doing all the work already anyway. And why is it leading you this way? We get the 6 of Pentacles. Look, another Pentacle card. More money in your hand. But this is not just about you and money. This is about you and other people. This is about you giving. This is about a flow too. I almost feel like your current situation, like, things just don't flow right. They don't work right. It's just disjointed. And you're like, hey, I see things this way. I think it should work this way. And it flows better. If it, usually the 6 of Pentacles has 2 people on it. Actually more. But it has one person who stands out, and they have the money, and it has other people who are kind of around them begging, or maybe not in the best financial situation as the one person, and this person is handing that other person money, but it is the flow. It is money flowing to you, flowing through you, flowing from like one hand to the next. This, and the Nine of Pentacles, that is the entrepreneurial card. That is you, like this is a peacock on this card. Usually it's abundance. It's usually a woman who is seeing the fruits of her labor. So I get, like I said, I feel like you think I'm talking crazy here, and I kind of am, because it feels like there's a big energy here. There's a big shift, a big change, a big noticeable difference for you. But it's for a reason. And I'm like I was saying, like this feels like a work situation, and then we have Pentacles. Yeah. It could also be about your body, you know, about like losing weight, like you're not happy because, you know, you're doing the status quo, you're doing what people tell you to do, it's not really working, you have a realization, you're doing what people eat intuitively. They just eat like what their body tells them that they want, and they show big changes. So I see that in this. Lovers, I know that I'm talking about work and communication with lovers, but you know, lovers can talk about a relationship. It can talk about love. It can talk about you here being in control of your emotions, not just being happy out here being alone. And then the change comes where you meet somebody and they just really feel like they complement you. And how do you know? There's always that question about how do you know that this is your person? How do you know that you're really in love? How do you know this is the one? Your intuition tells you, you just feel it, you just know in your gut. That there's also something here, like listen to your gut if it's not going to work out too, because I know far too many people who have actual physical issues with their gut because of continually putting up with something that they shouldn't, that they know they shouldn't, continually not following their intuition, continually, you know, because what I'm talking about here, a lot of these, this is scary. This is change. This is new. But I feel like this is something that like your intuition is telling you that, and you know what I'm talking about because your intuition has been trying to have this conversation with you. Your intuition, you know, this has been something in the back of your mind, but it's been scary. It's kind of been unsaid. It's kind of been pushed to the back, and you know that it's something that you're going to regret not doing. If you don't do it, it's time to do it. Look at how lovely these cards are. Look at your future. This is, and then it's kind of like passing the ball on to other generations, you know, you have so much abundance, you're able to help others. This isn't just you getting rich and wealthy for the point of it. It's because you're helping your family, you're helping your community, you're helping all sorts of people around you. So if there's any type of guilt around the money issue, because I think you could see the prosperity here, but you have to, like, a lot of times we block our own abundance, and this is being open to it. So that's what I have for you, group 3. These have all been interesting readings, so let me know how it goes. I so love and appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next reading.